In this video, we'll be initializing a VSCode extension project with paid features using Code Checkout. First, I'll create a VSCode extension project. So from the official documentation, I'll copy this command, switch over to my terminal, and execute it. Now what this does is walk us through creating a VSCode extension project, and I can select either from TypeScript or JavaScript. I'll switch back over to my documentation and follow along with the Getting Started guide. So first, I'll install the Code Checkout CLI. Now, before I go on to my next step, I'm just going to create a quick commit so that we can see what Code Checkout changes in our project. I'll run the initialization script. And this will create an account on the Code Checkout platform. The next step is to connect a Stripe account with a Code Checkout Stripe account. Because I'm in test mode, I can skip this form, which I'll do. Okay, connection was successful. I'll go back over to my CLI and confirm that I completed the Stripe onboarding process. Now I can create the pricing for my extension and specifically any commands within my extension that I want to be behind a paywall. I can choose from a monthly subscription or a one-time purchase. Next, I can choose a price or set a custom price. If you chose subscription, you can also add a free trial period. So I'll add 7 days of free trial. The Code Checkout package is required, so I'll go ahead and install it. And now I can switch back over to VS Code. Now in my extension project, I'll switch over to the entry point, which is typically source extension TS if you use the TypeScript template. Now I can follow along with the Getting Started guide on codecheckout.dev. The next step is to add a higher order function from Code Checkout and then tag the commands that I want to mark as paid. So I can just copy and paste some of this. And I'll replace my activate function. And then I can tag my command as paid. So let me take the existing command in VS Code and make it a paid command. That's it. Now, if I want to test this in the test Stripe account so I don't have to use a real credit card number, I can add some options onto the inject checkout commands function. Now let's run the extension in debug mode and see if it works. This is the command that we wrapped in the tag command function and made it paid. If I try to execute this, you can see that it shows me a message. It requires a valid license, and I have the ability to purchase a license. So let's test that out. This will open the Stripe checkout page. So now I have a license key that's provided, and I can copy and paste this into code checkout, or I can go back to Cursor or VS Code or wherever I tried to purchase this license automatically and insert the license key. So I'll do that. Great, my license was activated successfully. Let's try running the command again. Now it's working. Now let's go back to our VS Code Extension project and see what changes Code Checkout Init made to our project. We already covered the changes here, so let's take a look at package.json. First, you can see that an activation event of onURI was added. If you already had this in your extension, it wouldn't add it again. First, you can see that an activation event of onURI was added. This enables the license key to be inserted into the user's VS Code session automatically. Next, you can see we've added 3 license management commands. And we've also added a setting so that the user can view and edit their license key. Next, you can see a post-compile script was added for code checkout build. When you build your project in preparation for publishing to the VS Code marketplace, this step will obfuscate your JavaScript code to make it harder to hack. And finally, you can see that the publisher that I entered during initialization was added, and the code checkout dependency was added as well. So that's it. I hope you found this useful and you get started with code checkout today.